Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today I have a wonderful guest with me, my close friend, Dr. Prajakta. I met her during my UCSF preceptorship, and I know she was a bundle of knowledge. And she recently got into still, which is in Arizona. She's here to share her experience and her journey of getting into a dental school in US. Could you tell me a little bit about yourself? Why did you decide to become a dentist?
So the first reason I always wanted to be in any healthcare field was because of my father. He's a healthcare professional, and the reason I became a dentist is I did an ortho treatment when I was in or like I was in school, and that changed my smile. And after that, I had this passion to become a dentist. And I did my dentistry from 2012 to 2017 in India. I practiced for a year as an associate dentist there. Did my master's in public health from Dublin, Ireland, and then I finally moved to US in 2021.
And why did you decide to move to US?
The major reason was obviously my husband was here. He was doing his PhD, and I got married and I joined him in the US. But after I came here, I always knew that I want to become a US dental practitioner and want to practice dentistry in the US. So I kind of got back in the field. I tried to, even though I couldn't work, or I started volunteering at a few dental clinics and started studying for IMBD. So
And did you know about the process in US before? How did you learn about it?
So I started researching when I was in Ireland. I knew that we have to give an exam, that is national boards for the to get into school. And actually, I thought that the national boards will be the hardest part, but I was so wrong about that, because the hardest part was all the application process, that is CAAPID and everything else. And then, to be honest, I think I knew only, I would say, 30% of the process when I was not here. After I came, I just started practicing for studying for IMBD, passed the exam, and since I got into touch with a few people, I started to see the whole thing, that it's not just about giving boards, it's also about building your resume, and getting in touch with people, getting in touch with other dentists in the US. So no, I didn't have like official guidance for the process. I just learned as I go in those 3 years.
Yeah. And how many cycles did you apply?
For 2 cycles. So but this year, before I apply, I got a call from AP Still University in Arizona. So I would say 2 cycles.
Hmm. That's nice. And how did you find out about this school? This.
Honestly, it was I think sheer luck, or I would say it was my fate that I got to know about this program, because they're not listed on CAAPID. Their Missouri campus is there on CAAPID, but they require a green card basically. So I didn't think of that. A friend of my friend mentioned that he has a dentist who graduated from university in Arizona, and I was like, but they don't have a program on CAAPID for international dentist. But then he said, just go and talk to her. I don't know, she's an Indian dentist, so you can just go and ask her. And then she said, yeah, they have the program, it's just not official. Once like someone drops out, they reach out to international dentist and they call you for the interviews and everything.
And what's the application process like? Where do
Uh,
you apply? You said it's not on Capit, so how do you apply?
So I just emailed them, like people that I saw on website or from admissions committee, and I just started emailing them that, hey, I'm an international dentist. I want to apply to your school. I'm really interested. I stay in Arizona. And one person, she was not working there anymore, but she gave me contact of the current admissions person who looks over the process. So I just contacted him. He was really, really helpful. His name was Scott. And then he told me that, okay, we need all those documents, and just email them to me. And if we have a seat, we will let you know.
Mhm. And when would you say you applied and submitted all these documents? Like, what's the deadline for
Mm.
those?
So usually they get to know if someone drops out around March or April. So before, if you apply before March, that gives them some time to look over your application and call you for an interview.
What about LOR, SOP? Do you also need those to apply?
Yes, so they have a mandatory LOR, which is from volunteering organizations. So that is different from some of the universities on CAPID. I think Indiana has one requirement, but this is the other school that has that mandatory. It's they have 3 LORs: one from their alumni, or one who's in school, one from volunteering organization, and one whichever you want, like your mentor or maybe anyone else from India in dentist. Yeah, and SOP, they don't have just one SOP. They have few questions. They are more like SOP, so you answer about your personal journey, your difficulties and everything. So those are the things they want.
So all these need to be emailed.
Yes. So basically, they email you everything they want in a PDF,
Mhm.
and you basically copy paste your answers. And for LOR, you whichever person you want you're taking LOR from, you give the email address of the school, and they have to directly email the emails to the school.
Okay, and what about TOEFL scores? Do they
Um,
also need those?
Yeah, TOEFL and BDE, both of them. I would say TOEFL, they require they have some requirements. I think more than 23 in reading, something like that. But I think it's if you have more above 100, that really helps.
So do they accept like a paper copy of your scores, or do you send it through the
Now you
website?
can do the website, all of them.
Okay, what about your transcripts? Or you email them like the ECE and everything?
Yes, so ECE, TOEFL, and BDE, all three of them, and LORs. And SOP, you write it in the PDF and send it to the person.
And what about your SOP? How did you write it? Did you get help, or what are your tips?
For this university, I didn't know when I first applied. I was very new in the process, so I didn't know that there are people who help with the SOPs and everything. So for this school, I won't say I took help for the questions, but I took help in my second cycle of SOP writing. To be honest, I didn't have great experience with the company that I was working with. The most people that helped me was my friends who are in the same process, and my husband, he used to proofread what I wrote. So if you have a great counselor who is ready to review your answers and write for you, that's great. But yeah, I took some help in the second cycle, but not for this
Mhm. What about your TOEFL? Like, did you get your score immediately, or did you have to, retake? And what were your resources for doing TOEFL?
I took TOEFL before applying to the school. I took it in January and then applied to the school in March. So I didn't retake it. They didn't ask this year. They already have my scores. I used online exams on their websites that they have on ETS, and some YouTube videos. And then I practiced. Like I would say for TOEFL, practice is a must. Like you read and then you're like, okay, I know this. I can speak. I know English in so many years. But then when you are in the exam and you have a timer ticking, then you get nervous and then okay, what should I say? So just practicing, I think, was the most important aspect of TOEFL for me.
And did you have any research experience that you did?
In India, no. When I came here, I knew that some people are really into research and some universities are really research focused. So I need to, do that, improve my resume in that aspect. So I started volunteering at a startup company for research, and I worked there. I worked in their quality department and got some research experience there. Then used as a preceptorship actually helped in the research thing as well. Me and my friends, we were involved in one paper publication with one of the professors there. Um, so yeah, I think some universities are looking for research in their application, but I don't have like much experience in research now.
And I remember you also have done a master's in public health, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And that was from where?
Ireland, UCD,
Ireland.
College Dublin. Yes.
Do you think that experience also helped you get an invite?
I would say yes, because they want to see that you are just not about dentistry. They want to see that you have done other things. Maybe public health is one of them. But when I say about Ireland or public health, I just don't mention the degree. It also has few experiences that I learned from. And also, I did research there as well. My thesis was about cardiology research, so that helped. That had some like my start about the research. So that helped. And then yeah, I think Masters Public Health did impact getting it for me.
And what about volunteering?
Yes, volunteering helped a lot, I would say. For this school, they had mandatory volunteering hours and the recommendation letter.
And how much are those?
They don't have hours listed anywhere, but if you have more than 150, 150, 200, that's yeah, that should be enough. Yeah.
So you are in Arizona, right? Would you suggest some areas where the aspirants can volunteer, like the resources to find volunteering in and around the area?
So I volunteered at one organization. It's called Saint Vincent de Paul. They have multiple shelters. They have a farm. They have a kitchen for homeless people in Phoenix. So you can just go online. They have a person who was in charge of volunteers. So I just emailed her, said that hey, I just want to volunteer. And then she said, yeah, I can register you for it. And I just started going there. It's not that difficult. Yeah. They also have a dental clinic. But I think for that, they have a process of if you want to be volunteer as an assistant, you have to do some documentation. But at that time, they didn't have a vacancy, so I couldn't go in the dental clinic.
And with all these experiences, what do you think worked in your favor?
Do you mean academically or on a personal level?
Overall, what would you say actually helped you with getting an invite or getting accepted?
Getting an invite or getting accepted, if you ask me, then I was fortunate that I met few people along the way, or maybe I went out of the way to make contacts. As I said about APIST University, I got to learn about this program from a friend of a friend who I didn't even know. Then yeah, Yamini is one of my really close friends. She helped me in writing SOP and proofreading my answers and everything. So having friends who are in the same process really helps a lot. Um, yeah, and your family, like, they keep you motivated, they keep you sane in this process, which is really tiring. So yeah, that worked in my favor, I would say.
Yeah. And that's really important to have people who support you
Yeah,
because it's a lot. This process is very stressful.
yeah.
Yeah, even when you get into dental school, it's stressful. So, yeah.
Now you can tell me that.
And what would you say was your biggest challenge?
Um, the first question you asked me, I would say that's my biggest challenge: finding the right, guidance, what to do, what not to do, because you cannot do everything. You cannot do research, volunteering, this, that. That's. I mean, that's on your resume as well. It seems that you are doing everything and still you are doing nothing. So, I would say that was I was confused in between the cycles too. Like, what should I focus on? What should be my focus? Like research, volunteering, getting good scores in TOEFL, and everybody's doing everything they can. Everybody is trying their best. So that was the biggest challenge.
Yeah, finding your right passion, is
Yeah.
important because, yeah, everyone will say, okay, you have to do these 10 things and you will be in the school. But sometimes not,
Mhm.
even after doing everything, we feel like we're not getting the
Yeah.
right opportunities. So, yeah. And coming to your interview process, how was it?
To be honest, I have two experiences with interview. Last year, I got one invite, and I didn't get into school last year. So at that time, I was very nervous, and they had a bench as well last year. Um, in different university, not AT still. But I was nervous. I practiced. I did a course as well. But somehow on that day, I wasn't myself. Probably I was nervous about everything. They had a long day planned, and I was tired at the end of the day. So everything came at once, and probably that impacted my
Performance.
yeah, performance
Mhm.
and everything. This year, to be honest, I enjoyed the process. For
Mhm.
bench, they had multiple things, even more than what I did last year. So they had all ceramic crown, PFM, four cavity preparations, composite, hygiene exam, making temporaries on both all ceramic and PFM. So they
Wow.
had these many things, and I didn't have much time because they told me like 2 weeks before you have your bench. So in 2 weeks I practiced, but on those 2 days of bench exam, I actually enjoyed what I was doing.
Mhm.
And so they had bench, and then they said that we will call you for an interview if you pass in the bench.
Mhm.
Yeah, so they called me, I think, next day of my bench that you got invited for the interview, which is next week, and you will meet our chancellor, I think, chairman and vice chairman for the interview. Interview was conversational. It wasn't anything related to dentistry. They just wanted to know what I did in India. They just wanted to see what I learned and what should they do to merge me with D2 students in AT University. So yeah, I think interview was the easiest part for me. Bench was, I would say, was more tiring and stressful, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's good. And how many students were invited for the bench and the interview?
So they told me that they had 15 applications this year, and they invited 7 for bench, and I was the only one selected for the interview.
So 15 application is a lot. So I think some of them already know about the school,
Yeah.
right?
So
Yeah.
people like me who have heard from someone else, or who had like all of them who got invited for bench, they knew someone who was the alumni or who was in school, so they knew some people who were in there, and they got reference from them. So yeah.
And tell us about the program as well, because not a lot of people know about it.
It's a 3-year program. They international dentists join D2 students. D2 usually is about SimLab. I think first year they teach all ceramic and PFMs. That's what they wanted to see if I can do that, so that they don't have to teach me what they taught for D1 students. For D2, I think they start with endo, and D3 clinics, and D4 clinics and the final exam. And after that, they have 6 months of rotation clinics. So you visit clinics throughout the Phoenix, and if you want, they have some collaborations in another state. So you go in actual process, actual clinics, and you go. So that's a really good part about the program. I would say whenever I've spoken to people who were in school, they said it's a really good program. They have good amount of patients, and I think the rotational thing, everybody who graduated really liked it because they got so much exposure working in the actual clinics outside the university clinic, basically. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. And when does it start
It
for you?
starts in July, so next month.
July. Oh,
Mhm.
nice. Exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the school doesn't have any like requirements of a GPA or TOEFL
Um,
score.
no, I don't think they have a GPA requirement. They have TOEFL requirements. And I think the most important part is getting a letter from their alumni. Yeah, so that's one of the awards they want. Like they don't have exceptions for that. Either a student who is in there or an alumni.
And if you would say you would go back and give some advice to your younger self, what would that be?
I would say be patient. It's very hard. Me, Amini, everybody else have been through it, and everybody who graduated who were in school, they used to tell us, you have to be patient. And at that time, it is very hard. But yes, you have to be patient. Everybody will come to you at the right time when you're ready for it. And I believe that now because last year I got a call from California school and I didn't get in. But this year I got a call from Arizona, a school, and this was the first time I got invited from them. And my husband stays here, and I got in. So wasn't really planned. I didn't plan for this school like a lot, but it just happened. So yes, you have to practice. You have to be patient. But I would say that good things will come at the right time.
Yeah, I just remember, like you said, you had bench in 2 weeks, right? So
Yeah.
how did you practice? Did you take any course before this?
I took a course last year before I got the invite from California school. Um, this year I didn't have time to take, but I had a home setup, so I just started practicing. I had videos from earlier course that I recorded, so I just watched them and I just practiced at my home. Sent pictures to my some of my friends, got feedback, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and you had a home bench set up, right?
Home based setup. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah.
Mm.
Any other tips for the aspirants that you want to share?
I would say reach out to people. Reach out to people that they are in school or alumni who graduated. They can give you some tips about what to do and be patient and everything else, as I said. But like sometimes we just think that okay, we don't want to bother someone, but I think everyone who are in this process, they know how hard it is and they want to help you. So don't hesitate, don't be shy to ask for help. Yeah, I think that will be my advice.
Any other thing that we missed, do you think? Like,
um, UCS a preceptorship.
right.
I think that was a good experience for me. You get
Mhm.
to see, how the university clinics work, how the students are in the US dental school. You get a feel of how actual dental school will be. I mean, obviously, it's not as busy as the actual dental school, but at least you get to get a feel of what it is. Probably, if you're lucky, you'll get to work with, some really good dentists, doctors in the field. Get to be part of research that will help in your resume. So that was a good experience. I would say that try to be in a preceptorship which is in person rather than online because it makes a difference online and in person preceptorship. So
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prajakta, for sharing all these wonderful insights and about the school that no one knew about. So now there are going to be a lot of applications for that school. So yeah. Thank you so much for sharing everything with us, your journey and everything.
yeah,
And I'm sure it's going to help a lot of people. And yeah, have a good rest of your day.
you too, and we'll
Yeah,
talk soon. Yeah.
yeah. We'll talk. I'm going to end the meeting.